Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to give you information about most dangerous symptoms and the problems, especially with vitamin D, and even more specifically it's going to be connected with people with autoimmune disease. Today I'm going to talk about the number one danger related to vitamin D that you absolutely must know about, especially if you suffer from autoimmune conditions or think you are getting enough just because your blood test said so. There is a lot more to this story, so let's break it down all right now. Let's start with something most doctors don't talk about, the Coimbra protocol. This was developed by Dr. Cicero Coimbra, a neurologist from Brazil, who has been working with autoimmune patients for decades. His approach: massive doses of vitamin D. We are not talking about 1,000 or even 5,000 international units a day. We are talking about 60,000, even to 200,000 international units of vitamin D per day under strict supervision. Why such high doses? Because many people with autoimmune disorder have vitamin D resistance. That means that their cells don't respond properly to normal levels of vitamin D. Dr. Coimbra's goal is to flood the system to break through the resistance, and his reported success rate is over 90% in putting autoimmune conditions in remission. And when you take the blood test for vitamin D, that's not even beginning of the real story of vitamin D. Why not blood test for vitamin D tell you everything that you need to know? Now you might be thinking, but my vitamin D blood levels are normal. Now here's the truth. Blood levels don't tell you the whole story. You can have normal test results and still not be getting the effects of vitamin D inside your cells, where it really matters. So don't be fooled. The number you see on the lab report is just surface level information. We need to dig deeper to see vitamin D is actually doing its job, especially in immune regulator. Is too much vitamin D dangerous? So, is taking too much vitamin D dangerous? The real information is going to be yes, if it's done incorrectly. High doses of vitamin D can lead to hypercalcemia, too much calcium in the blood, which can cause kidney stones, calcifications of organ and other complications. But here's the catch. That only happens if you're not balancing with other nutrients like magnesium, vitamin K2, zinc, and by controlling calcium intake, especially from dairy. That's why proper supervision is critical with the Coimbra protocol. It's powerful, but it has to be done right. When I see it to my patients, I hear it probably all the time, almost each day. A lot of you take those kind of supplements with any kind of knowledge of what those supplements do and what are the supplements in relations with other nutrients in your body. That's why it's so important when you take high doses of vitamin D, you must balance them with other key nutrients that work together with vitamin D in our body. What happens when you don't get enough vitamin D? Now let's flip the coin. What happens if you don't get vitamin D? You become more vulnerable to autoimmune disease like multiple sclerosis, lupus, Graves' disease, rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto, type 1 diabetes, vitiligo, and more. They're all conditions where your immune system turns on you, and vitamin D play a huge role in regulating those responses. In fact, scientists know that vitamin D is involved in over 2,500 genes, especially those related to the immune system. And yet, most of the guidelines we still follow are based on research that over 100 years old, outdated and incomplete. And just when you thought that is bad enough, it gets worse. Most people can get enough vitamin D from food or the sun anymore. Why? Because of something called vitamin D resistance, which is often genetic. There are certain genes like VDR polymorphisms that reduce how your body absorbs or uses vitamin D. This means some people need 10 to 20 more % of vitamin D to get the same benefit. On top of that, problem with everyday food that we eat, it's so unbelievably low in nutrients that we need each day. Most of people, like 90% people, don't get enough vitamin D from the sun. That is the best sources of vitamin D, even less you get vitamin D from your everyday food. And on top of that, you are lacking magnesium, calcium and other nutrients, and that's why we develop so many problems. Let's go back in time for a second. Imagine you are in Stone Age. You are outside all day, hunting, gathering, exposed to the sun. Your immune system had to be strong to survive parasites, infections, and everything else nature threw at you. Back then you got massive amount of vitamin D from sunlight, and your genes evolved to protect you from getting too much. Fast forward to today. We live indoors, we wear sunscreens, we avoid the sun, and we drink filtered water. So now you get a fraction of vitamin D it once did, but your genes haven't caught up. The result? A mismatch that leaves you many of deficiency and vulnerable. So how do you fix this without harming yourself? Starting by supporting your vitamin D with magnesium helps convert into active form. Vitamin K2 keeps calcium in the bones, not in the arteries. Zinc boosts immune regulation and reduce calcium intake, especially cutting back on dairy. This combination protects against side effects while helping you get full benefits. And if you're dealing with serious autoimmune disease, consider working with Coimbra-trained doctor. It's not DIY, it's real protocol with real result. Vitamin D is not just another supplement, it's hormonal-like compound that affects most everything in your body, especially your immune system. Most of people are deficient and some of people are resistant, which is even worse. So for today's information is going to be what you need to know about vitamin D, what can be the problems, and how you will resolve it with natural, safe way. Just intake like magnesium, vitamin K2, zinc and vitamin D, and you will never get problems with vitamin D deficiency and similar kind of problems. Do you have any kind of information about vitamin D deficiency? Please comment below the video. For everyone who wants to learn a lot more about vitamin D, watch my video right here. Thank you for following me, my dear viewers. See you in the next video. Bye bye.